Okay, hello. Welcome to Drinking with Comics. I'm Sean. This is Mike. We have Joe Baxter behind the camera as usual. We have science officers Era and Sarah.
Aaron.
Did I say Era?
You said Era.
Notice today the beers are already open.
Yeah.
Also today we have some guests with us.
Woo! Woo! Live studio audience, motherfuckers! Woo!
So we have a live studio audience again, so thank you everyone for coming. Also, we have Tanya Bjork and we have Robin Thorsen. Woo! So, I guess we should start by kind of, Tanya is a local creator. She has a book called Havenhurst, originally called The Runaway, if you bought it like I did when it was still The Runaway. It's wonderful. Robin is from the show, the web series The Guild. Most of you probably know that. I just am reiterating it just in case.
She's like our most famous guest ever, by the way.
Well, that's
I mean, I've heard of the Guild, and I've heard of Havenhurst, but it's because Tanya's been here. So. But yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, for a minute I thought you didn't pay your power bill. I'm like, oh no,
No,
like,
but
oh,
we're trying to
shut
set
them
the
down.
mood for those 28 people out
That's
there.
awesome. Yeah, one bad thing about this time of year is it stays light really late.
Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, so back to our guests.
Yeah, so Tanya, you actually conceived and began Havenhurst at a 24-hour comic day at the Comic Bug, correct?
Yeah, it was totally an accident.
Talk about
Happy
it.
accident.
So 24-hour comic book day, for anyone who isn't familiar, is once a year, and I guess it's international now.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So the basic concept is within the span of 24 hours, you're supposed to come up with an idea for a book, and at the end, have a completed 24-page comic book. And it's not supposed to be pretty. It's a creative exercise, but
This is pretty.
well, it took me more than 24 hours.
You laid the groundwork.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So I actually had all the penciling done with the lettering done by, I think it was 7:30 that morning.
What time did it start? So when it's 24 hours, it's from what time to what time?
I don't think there's a standard time,
Okay.
but what they've done here is 12 noon on Saturday to 12 noon on Sunday.
Okay, makes sense.
So it's an all-nighter, and if anyone's ever curious about trying it, definitely recommend it, especially if you have an awesome shop that does some awesome hosting for the event. They
Like the
kept
Comic
us-
Bug is.
Yeah, they gave us space, kept us fed, caffeinated, enthusiastic.
Are you gonna do it this year, October?
I'm planning on it.
Cool. Awesome.
I brought my own chair.
Nice.
I brought my chair home from the office. 24 hours straight is a really long time to
I
be
can't
sitting
even
in one
imagine
place.
that anymore.
It's kind of like we're going back into Iraq, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like serving terms in Iraq, but instead of killing people, you're making comics.
That is very strange.
You know what I mean? Like you're actually doing some good shit.
So wait, let me get this straight. So,
Like there's nothing good that's gonna come of killing people in
That's the
Iraq.
best analogy.
So you have basically landmines in your floor, and then you get
But they explode in the beautiful
and
pages.
you get Jeremy Renner to come in and act all like crazy.
like
and-
Hurt Locker and shit. Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna be great.
I'll probably avoid that then.
Hurt Locker free comic or 24-hour comic.
Well, if
days, right?
Jeremy Renner's there, I'll
He
go
was
there.
here last year.
Oh, great. Then I'm in.
But the thing is, you don't get to see him because we put him in a Hurt Locker.
Okay.
It's like trembling in the back.
Right.
Because we told him there's a lot of bombs around him and stuff.
It's totally bizarre.
It's weird. But, Tanya drew a whole comic in front of him. It was amazing.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
apparently it started in 1990 and Neil Gaiman put his first attempt in the back of Cerebus.
I have a question to hashtag Neil Gaiman.
Oh.
Why does it take him 2 years to make an issue of Sandman now then?
That's kind of
If he can make a 24-hour
no,
comic day.
You know what? I bet it's not him. It's J.H. Williams III. And because,
No, I think it's Neil Gaiman.
No, I don't think so. And because his art is so
Hashtag
awesome,
Neil
that
Gaiman.
he can
Why
take
does
as
it take
as
us
he
so long
wants.
to make Sandman?
Take as-
Fuck you, Neil Gaiman.
How the,
That's my first fuck you of the night.
In the nicest way.
So we're gonna do the show where the one host, we're like good cop, bad cop now. So basically, whoever Mike
The
insults,
first salvo is
I'm
fired.
going to apologize to, unless like David Goyer, they deserve the insult. So,
Bear me, dude.
here, for you. So this is a good chance actually to talk about.
Oh, let's talk about
some
our
of the
first
beers
beer
that we're
then.
drinking.
Yeah.
There's
You
a
got a beer, right?
plethora of beer this evening. I'm about to open for Mike Golden Road Brewing's Point the Way IPA. a guy I worked with gave me a can of this the other day, and I really liked it. I don't know that I'd want to drink a 6-pack of them. There you go, sir.
Thank you.
I felt like your nanny handed me that. And then I thought, how bizarre is it that handing a beer to a grown man made me feel like a nanny?
I feel like Neil Gaiman. Maybe I'll take 2 years to write my next comic.
Or 2 years to finish that beer.
When's the next anthology out?
Shut up.
Nice.
She's twiddling my thumbs.
She's referring, of course, to the Comic Bugs anthology comic briefs.
That was a little bit of a low blow because it took about 2 years to get that out. I love you.
It's a great anthology, and it's available here. And I don't know, is it available online or anything?
No, it's coming out through Diamond soon. Though.
Oh, awesome! There you go. So briefs.
Everywhere.
Cool stuff. I really liked Kid Metal. I just gotta say. I mean, I liked all the stories, but Kid Metal. When I heard the concept, it's like this kid puts on a metal shirt.
That's the artist right there.
I know, and adapts the power of whatever metal shirt he's wearing. So I'm picturing like, dude, so he's gonna like come out of the grave like Eddie, or like act like a Civil War trooper like Eddie, or like stand around like the guy on the Megadeth records and just look like a douchebag with a skull instead of a face and chains hanging off it. But they did really, I don't know, it was cool. All of them, every story in it was cool. You actually did the art for Catechus, right?
Catechus, yeah.
Which
she's a big cat fan.
It was cool. So am I.
So let's talk to Robin. Do you have animals? Do you have cats?
I have a dog.
What's his name?
Lincoln. Yeah.
Lincoln, like after Andrew Lincoln or after the president? No one in particular. I just thought it was a rad dog name.
It's a good.
It is a rad dog name. Yeah.
It makes me think he plays frisbee. Does he play frisbee?
He plays a lot of things. He's a little hyper animal.
Piano, guitar.
Yes, drums mostly. So
nice.
We're going on.
He plays
tour.
drums.
We're going on tour. Yeah.
Nice.
What kind of dog is he?
He's a mutt. I actually rescued him from the Carson Shores.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're South Bay, huh?
I am, born and raised. Right?
Respect, girl.
Yeah.
And I heard your dad is a bit of a
oh yeah, plug the Butcher's
magician.
Auto.
God, he's gonna. Well, I mean.
Plug the Butcher's Auto. Seriously,
yeah, let's do it.
Go to Butcher's Auto.
I mean, go. Yeah, do it. Go for it.
They're awesome people that take care of you.
That's how you wound up here tonight, right?
Yes.
Not because you're famous from the guild, but because your dad obviously greased this man's whatever his turbines.
Yeah, like he felt she needed to be on this show to make that would be the next step in my career is to get on that show with the two drunk guys in the South Bay.
This man
shit about David Goyer for an hour. Oh man.
We're talking Neil Gaiman tonight, dude. This is a Neil Gaiman #Neil Gaiman episode.
Yes.
So you grew up in the South Bay.
I did, yeah.
And actress.
I love the South Bay. Yes.
And did the Guild, which is awesome.
Thank you. Oh, up top.
Guild is like one of the big bastions of I think geek culture and like people like swinging swords and like really like doing us right.
Yeah, it was a big treat to be on the show. So
how'd you wind up on the show?
I auditioned. I found the breakdown on this like acting website and I auditioned and nailed it.
Were you a geek before or no?
Ish. I would
Be real,
say.
come on. Then no, tell
well,
the
I
truth.
actually had never heard of World of Warcraft, which is what the guild's like based on.
Okay.
But since then, I've definitely learned to appreciate.
You're a bit of an icon in the community now.
Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that.
I mean, I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, I guess. I don't
she
know.
Is.
I think
she
it's
is.
Like,
she is, right? Yeah.
People know who you are.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's a real. It's pretty cool to have been on that show for. I mean, 6 seasons for a web show is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And to be kind of as successful as we were is kind of pretty awesome too. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, and I mean, like we were talking about, Rob and I were talking about before we actually started rolling. It really paved the way for a lot of what you see now with, TV is becoming something that's not on TV. It's on the internet. It's on YouTube. It's on websites, or I mean, there's a bunch of other things that like Crackle and Pop and something else. I want to do. We're gonna come back, but I want to put some semblance of order back in. So
well,
anyway.
Sorry.
So, I wanted to, do you have any announcements for the store?
No. Well, we're doing a Star Wars thing.
That ended. Well, we talked about that. Okay, so that was a short segment. So
and a Hellboy thing.
You can talk about it here.
What's that?
It's really good.
You like that beer?
IPA, I do.
Yeah, it is good beer.
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to get you drunk.
That's why. That's pretty much the only reason I came. I'm not gonna lie, guys.
The only reason
I
I
heard free
come.
beer and I was like, ooh, I'm there.
I have no. This is not
Done
an announcement, but I do love this book, Sex Criminals.
So talk about it.
It's awesome.
Why is it awesome?
Well, I've been talking to some girls lately, and
was one of them Anna Senti?
I wish, but I do hope to introduce this book. I'm drunk. I do hope to talk to Anna Senti about this book. I know, but Sex Criminals is a very good book to talk to girls about.
It is held in very high regard. I have not read it yet.
It's really extremely intelligent.
Okay.
Unlike me right now.
That's
so,
fine.
Moving on.
That's cool. Okay, so we're apparently going to do the what kind of blew your hair back recently segment right now. So I want to get into something here.
Okay.
These guys messaged us on our Facebook and told us about their book, and I bought it. 2 Drink Minimum. It's by Black Snow Comics. Now I got it in the mail I think last Wednesday, and I haven't had a chance to read the whole thing. It was kind of a killer week, but it's really cool. First of all, super props because this is immediately tactile. The minute I pulled it out of the packaging, this reminds me of the graphic novels in the 80s, like oh man. There was like that Iron Man one with the weird early computer.
Crash?
Yes, with the computer. Like, oh my God, it's computer art. Now it looks like it would be on somebody's watch or something in 1985. But there was a Punisher one too. I forget, Assassin's Guild maybe. But they were always, this is pre-trade paperbacks where it's like every 6 months the writer is writing a 6-issue arc that then immediately comes out the next month as a trade paperback or like a graphic novel is now pretty much colloquially kind of lumped in with. So graphic novels were, special things, and they were always bigger. And so this book, I like when I read something the first time and I don't necessarily know what the hell is going on. I like it with film too a lot, but it takes place in Detroit, and so there's a lot of crime. And the hero is a drunk. The hero's name is Black Snow, and he wears a shirt that says anti-hero. And he's just hammered all the time. He's begun charging people. What?
I'm just kidding. I said
my kind of hero.
Yeah, right. And it's not like that Hancock shit. No. Great idea. Props to the screenwriter.
Screenwriter, you call him.
Didn't like the movie. It just didn't. It's like, come on.
I wasn't a fan.
But here's the weird thing. It's like the villains are like Martin Van Buren and I forget who the other one is, but they're like ex-presidents from. It's the weirdest shit. It's like Detroit now.
It's kind of where you lost me, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting. But I'm really digging it. So you can look up Black Snow Comics on Facebook or Google 2 Drink Minimum, and you will. I like it. It's really cool. Really cool art. It's like a cross between what you would expect from a graphic novel or like a monthly floppy, and there's an element of like comic strip art as well, and it really, really works. So
what do you think, Madison?
I like it.
I like it.
Great.
I have a quick question for Tanya. So you write and draw your books?
Yes, both.
Is that something you want to keep doing because you like having control over the whole process, or would you ever consider working with a writer or an artist so you could focus on one particular area?
I'm definitely open to teaming up with somebody, but right now I have a backlog of stories that I want to draw. So it's definitely something I would consider in the future. But making comics is a lot of work, so it'll keep me busy for a while. I actually had a whole other series that I was going to start right before this one, that I've got like a 5-page test already inked and lettered. I've got a notebook full of notes and the whole storyline figured out. So once this is done, it's going to be about 10 books. Once it's completed, I've got a whole other project and then a few other that are a little less realized.
Right on. Are there any books that you read now that are both from where the writer is also the artist?
The first one that comes to mind is Becky Cloonan's mini comics.
Can you talk a little bit about? I'm not familiar with that one.
Oh, I think I pre-ordered the collection. She did 3 mini comics, and it's kind of funny. I think what happened was she tried to pitch it to a publisher, and they told her that she should do some stuff on her own to prove that she was publishable. And I hope those people are kicking themselves right now, because what she did was amazing. They're all like dark fantasy. The first one is Wolves, which is it revolves around werewolves. The second one is The Mire, which deals with ghosts, and then the third one is Demeter, which deals with Selkies. And it's just like
what's the last one? Selkies.
Selkies, which they're like mermaids, but they're seals.
Oh
wow.
John might like that.
Oh yeah. Fat mermaids.
So, but she put them all in one book. And then what's the book called?
It's By Chance or Providence.
By Chance or Providence. Yeah.
Yeah, and
She's gonna be here. She promised she would come. So whenever that happens.
I have such a huge art crush on Becky Cloonan. And I already have all 3 of the mini comics, and I want to get it collected.
Yeah,
it's in a hardcover, yeah.
Yeah, and she's doing additional art that goes with the stories, and she's talked about doing other mini comics.
She is amazing. She's like the ballsiest, like, female comic creator. Like she owns.
Metalhead.
She is, yeah. That's where the balls come from. No, she is a metalhead, and I partied with her at Comic-Con with Chuck BB about 3 years ago, and she is really cool.
Chuck BB, is it the dude that does
Black
black metal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good comic.
Yeah.
Well,
That's one of the few like black and white books, and it's just I could read it just like
It's good
snapping through it. It's so much fun.
Chuck's my boy.
I want to do an interesting segue here. So we're just going to keep revolving because we're totally off the charts. It's interesting. Sarah has earlier I bought digitally. Now I'm not against digital comics, but it's a weird thing to me. And I like my shop. Like I like going to a shop. It was dark days for like the 6 years that I lived here and didn't have this shop. It was really dark. No offense to Amazing Fantasy, who mailed my stuff once a month, but it's just not the same. But so Sarah usually has problems with comics, like basically like following how you're supposed to read them, which I've heard other people have said that as well. And so I bought I was really interested in the Batman 66 Green Hornet team-up book, not because I love Batman, but I don't really need to read, unless there's a writer writing it that I like. And so this book is Ralph Garman and Kevin Smith are writing it. I think it's mainly Ralph is writing it. So I bought it, and it's really cool. But digitally, it's interesting. I don't know if all digital comics do this now or not, but it kind of moves like.
Oh, the guided view.
It gives you a panel, and then you click the thing, and then the panel can change, or like another panel springs. It was really interesting. I had to buy it digitally because when I came in here,
sold out.
I mean, and I got here like 4 hours after they opened, and they're like, "Yeah, it's sold out." I was like, "Are you serious?"
Sorry.
So, Ralph and Kevin,
Fail.
good job. I mean, it's cool too. Again, like I'm not.
But like reading digital comics. All right, so let me just put it in physical terms. Reading a comic digitally is like masturbating to pornography, and then holding a comic in your hand is like holding another being in your arms.
You were
and
looking
into her eyes and making
the
sweet
Yeah, he
love.
really does. Oh my god.
Sweet.
It's not the worst analogy so far.
Yeah.
Oh, that had some words. No, but like making sweet. Like when I read my comics, like let me read Wolverine.
Wait, no, maybe you better not. Hold on. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna take off my belt first, all right?
No.
Take off my belt.
Great time to cut the commercial.
3D.
We don't have any.
So that's how I read a comic physically, all right? But when I read it digitally, it's like
I
this.
really
It's
hope you actually do read.
To your right,
comics
to your
like
left.
that, because
Healing powers.
awesome?
Oh yeah.
It seems like a lot of effort.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's
does,
not.
it does.
But
I
like
mean,
I
you have
feel
to
it.
mentally
I feel
prepare,
that when I read it.
Now I see why you don't
mentally
read as many comics as I do.
It-
Jesus, you read one and you're done for at least 10 minutes. I mean, good God. That's crazy.
I give it my all, dude.
One and done.
One and done. Yeah, I'm a little older now, baby. I used to read like 3 a day. I could read like 3 comics a day.
Alright.
Paul Cornell, I'm not reading it, but yeah, Paul Cornell, that's good.
By the way, you don't want to put these sharp claws next to anything that's essential to your being.
So, like my toaster?
Whatever.
I guess that would be the
Moving on.
Well, actually, I wanted to add, because that's how I read Clara's comic.
Is that how you read it?
With the digital version.
Oh, okay.
And knowing, yeah, I
you
don't know.
stepped in that one, my dear.
I know. I'm so naive. I feel like stupid ship lollipop.
Science officer Sarah, we love her.
Oh, terrible. But what did you think of your comic and how she was drawn versus seeing yourself on the show? Because I thought there was a big discrepancy in how she looks in the comic versus...
Oh, yeah.
And what did you think of that? Did you just treat it as something completely different, inspired by you, or did you think
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't take that personally, because it definitely didn't, you know, it didn't look like me that much. But the Greg Aronowitz, like I mentioned before, drew, there were 2 covers, and he drew one that was really kind of spot on. Though, I mean, you have it, I think, that one.
Yeah,
really
that
cool.
one was really good.
And then, like, that's how all of them were, because for the Guild, we got, like, one main comic, and then we all got,
One shot.
One shot, yes.
Yeah.
And, so there were 2 covers for each, and, one cover was, like, basically to our likeness, and then the other one was a more exaggerated, kind of fun one. So, Greg drew that one that you have over there.
The more true to life.
Yeah, the more true to life. But
okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can't, I don't know, you can't really take that personally, I guess. But that's just how they...
What is it like having had a comic made about a character that you played? I mean, it's really interesting with the Guild as well, because it's not like, I was saying to Robin earlier, it's not like it's Lord of the Rings where you don't play a fantasy character. I mean, you're playing somebody. The Guild is very much more about the people even than and their lives and how the game. It's not peripheral, but it's not like they're in the game all the time. It's more about here's the game and how it kind of juxtaposes with our lives. So what is it like to have a piece of fiction, comics especially, like made about a character you played that's you probably put some of yourself into?
It's insane. It's surreal. It's neat, I think. I mean, especially now since we, for the Guild, we've had chances to go to all these conventions and stuff, and there are cosplayers of the Guild. So, like, so
you walk into a room
and
there's
like
dressed
3 Claras, and it's like,
awesome.
what? This is insane.
Now, is there ever, like, a point where they're, like, challenging you?
Yeah, no,
like, you have to fight? You're like, I'm the original.
No.
Okay, that's cool.
They bow before you.
We take pictures and then they buy you drinks, so it's great.
Oh wow,
it's great.
We need cosplayers of
Yeah,
us.
it's
That's
wonderful.
never gonna happen.
I need a mustache.
So I have a question for co-host Sean, because I know he was kind of excited about a Velvet trade coming out this month.
Oh, there's a Velvet trade coming out. If you guys don't know what Velvet is, Ed Brubaker. Well, first it's a very lovely fabric. I mean, just fantastic.
Velvet. The Velvet itself is.
Yeah, and if you attach Underground to it, it's a pretty wicked band. But Velvet actually, you see what I did there? Oh yeah. So Velvet is actually a comic by Ed Brubaker and oh jeez, why am I?
Sean Phillips.
Yes.
It's not Sean.
No, it's not Sean Phillips.
Nope.
I don't think.
Somebody
Steve
help
Epting.
Maybe.
It's
Science
It's
officers are on it.
it's right there, dude. Let's tell me.
Epting.
yeah. Thank you.
Steve Epting.
It's the team that did the Captain America.
Ivan's on the case.
He's on the case.
Steve Epting, yeah.
It's the team that did the Captain America. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh my God, he's
Ruining stuff.
destroying the store.
I'm help.
Oh my God.
I'm sturdy.
Obligatory clank of bodies.
It's kind of so first of all, it's the team that did the Captain America run. What is it? 2005. You referenced it last time as being actually the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into spoiler territory. However, it is basically most of it is what the new Captain America Winter Soldier is based on. So they did that before. So this is them doing like a 70s spy thriller, and it's really awesome. It starts out with a very covert group. Can't even remember what it's named because I think they wrote it in a way where after you read it you forget it, so that it really accentuates that. And an operative has been killed in the field, and this never happens, and so there's all this, you know, rigmarole going on, and keep heading there. And the secretary turns out to be, this isn't really a spoiler, I mean, the book's named after her, a retired spy, and shit just goes pear-shaped, and she basically gets framed, and blah, blah, blah. It's so good. The art's awesome. It's a very good example of, like, the perfect relationship between art and word when it's two people and not one person. We've talked here before about, and we were talking earlier about when if you're the creator and you're doing the word and the art, you have an advantage. These guys work like they're one person. You see the Captain America, definitely. And when I read that, I was like, why would I read this Captain America? And a guy we used to work with at Borders, Nick, was like, it's so awesome. So he lends me the omnibus, and I'm like, I'm going to read 25 issues of Captain America, really? And it was fantastic. And it really just has to do with the way the art and the words go together. Really good. So there's a trade coming out if you've missed the issues so far. It's really cool. I want to give a shout out. Scott Rick just took his son Josh to buy comics for the first time, and I just want to say that's awesome. And just get him, get him
Velvet.
Get him Velvet and the Invisibles and pre-order
Neil
Havenhurst
Gaiman
if that's possible at this point. I don't think it is.
Well, he's too young for that.
Self-published.
So, do you sell it online? I think I've asked you this before, and I don't remember.
No, once it's completely done, I'm going to release the trade online.
Okay, that's cool.
So for up until
let me just say, I'm going to give a heartfelt sentiment real quick because I'm drunk. That's what I do when I'm drunk. Tanya is on her way, like she's like laying track. You're laying track right now, and like you are gonna get this thing done, and you are gonna blow it up once it's done. And that's all I gotta say.
Did I just hear somebody say start crying?
I did not cry, but no,
I do agree. Like you are on your way.
We should do a cheers to Tanya.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, do I join in?
Yes, of course.
I got you.
No beer.
Cheers.
I'm an empty beer.
Beer's not open.
I'm sorry.
You have a beer?
We built this little.
No, not anymore.
There you go.
Oh boy.
But anyway.
That needs to be remedied.
Who else needs a beer? Anyone? I want to go back real quick. So, Tanya, and now I bought it when it was the Runaway. So it's recently switched to Havenhurst, which I love. I love the title. I mean, I like the Runaway, but Havenhurst is better. Talk about how, like, why did that happen?
What is this whole story?
Talk about the story and
name
where,
change.
like, what did the Runaway? I mean, I know because I've read it, but what did the Runaway mean to the story, and what does Havenhurst mean to the story, and why the switch?
Well, this started accidentally on 24-hour Comic Book Day, and you come up with the idea for your story right there within that 24 hours. So the story was about a runaway and her magical familiar hiding out in the human world. So it just, simple, just the runaway. And I didn't realize it was going to end up being a series. So I did this. I finished it. I printed it out. I started selling it, and people started asking me when the next book was coming out. So
Had to be a great feeling.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well,
I have a following. That's pretty cool.
I also have a really bad habit of ending short stories with cliffhangers. So I don't know if you recall my apocalypse story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just ends up in a cliffhanger. I can't seem to tie things up neatly.
I like cliffhangers.
That was a hurdle for me to jump to approve it.
Is it a cliffhanger, or is it just there's that the example?
Well, it's like the story can stand on its own, but it's just like it's at a moment where it's like, shit, what happens next?
It's a good moment to end the story.
Yeah, and this is actually going to end with one of
That's
those,
not
but
an
the story
ending,
arc is going to complete.
It can be an ending. We did this before with the
all right, Matrix. All right, let's take it back to Matrix. So Matrix ended.
No,
like,
let's
what's going to happen next?
The Matrix is not.
And then
good.
like
Let's not
you don't
talk
want to
about
know what
Matrix.
happened. Obviously, we don't want to know because 2 and 3 sucked.
Yeah, we don't want to even know
But,
anything
like,
that happens after the first 20 minutes
right.
of that movie. It's just turn it off.
I'm not a fan of it.
It's
You don't like The Matrix?
You know, the first 20 minutes is great, and then it's like, well,
Oh,
I've already seen Terminator and
first
didn't like that
movie?
either. So like, I don't need.
Wait, you're talking about the first movie?
The first 20 minutes is so awesome, and then it's like I'm on a spaceship and robots are trying to kill me because they've taken over the world.
No,
Dude,
stop it.
It has been okay. The scope is great, but the execution's poor, man. I mean,
No, one is
so
a great
much-
movie. Like
they rip so much stuff
same
off
as
the Invisibles.
what's that movie that Sam Jackson and Bruce Willis?
Unbreakable.
Thank you. It's like, oh my god. Like if they made a sequel that further explain shit,
They should.
wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
They didn't. But so it's like that's a great movie.
Unbreakable is a great movie, but you've only proven
So I heard
that,
a
not
hum
the
over
movie.
here. Was that you?
It was me.
You didn't like it?
I didn't love it. I mean that in the greatest way.
It
but
turns
it
in
wasn't my
the
favorite.
potential is so high in the first.
Sorry.
It's
Did
okay.
we offend you?
I still love you.
But are you? We're
No,
talking
don't be
about.
offended.
You liked Unbreakable or you liked The Matrix? Or you like both?
Unbreakable more so.
Oh really?
No.
Mm.
Oh wait, were we? Oh, I thought we
How
were.
dare
banging
you
on the
offend
Matrix for
Madison,
Well, yes, we
who's
were.
gonna be here week after week, and you are probably
I'm
never
sorry.
gonna be back again.
You don't know.
All right?
I live very close here.
Well,
so
will you come back again?
For sure.
Then you can have an opinion.
All right. All right. Nice. Good. I was
Made her
really
feel
worried.
welcome.
I was really worried.
Alienating people. That's what we do here.
It's all about return.
If you're
Right,
not
no,
here,
I
if
mean,
you're watching
yeah.
us,
Like,
we're just
If
gonna.
you're gonna come back, then you can. But
Yeah.
you know, I think Madison will come back.
Yeah.
She's kind of already proven that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Like,
And Skeletor.
Skeletor's in the
it's over.
audience.
Yeah.
Surely we'll come back because with the name like Skeletor, where the fuck else are you gonna go on a Thursday night or Tuesday?
Well, you
Monday night?
might want to go and like
Jesus
kill
Christ.
Prince Adam.
You might.
Just maybe. Just.
But
thinking.
once he's dead, what else you?
Well, then you just
That's
take
a
over
one
Castle
night-
Grayskull and
Yeah,
like
you're right.
I don't know. What do you do? Drink mead? I don't know. What do they do for a good time there?
Skeletor, what do you do for a good time, dude?
I'd rather not talk about it.
See, secret Skeletor things.
Skeletor
I know what you
posts,
do, dude.
motivational media.
I know.
Yes.
Really?
They're good.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have to-
Wait, what?
Skeletor's motivational.
Oh, yeah, it is
memes.
good.
It's
Yeah.
Skeletor's love or something
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, there are
Yeah.
millions
I
of
have to-
Skeletor?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
They're
have to look
amazing.
that up.
Oh,
I have not
yeah,
seen
I'm-
it.
Actually, you provide yourself a good segue because talking about movies, there was recently Big Trouble in Little China came out.
Yeah. Well, okay. So
What?
Yeah.
Boom released a Big Trouble in Little China
Yeah.
comic,
Oh my gosh.
and I bought 2 copies. One for my friend Jacob in Ohio, and we talked about it today on the phone. It was cool. So it is actually scripted by or co-scripted by Carpenter. Like it is a sequel, and it's cool. It's really really cool. Huge fan. I made the point earlier talking to Jacob when people say I'm a big John Carpenter fan. People say what's your favorite John Carpenter movie? I always say Prince of Darkness, and they're like, not Big Trouble. I'm like, well, you just take Big Trouble out first. It's like the Coen Brothers. What's your favorite Coen Brothers movie? Miller's Crossing? Not Big Lebowski? Well, you know what? It destroys the curve. Remove it. It's amazing. It's its own thing. Of course, that would win. So just take it out and then go with the other ones. Same thing. So it's after Big Trouble is what 86, 87, maybe. One of my
Maybe.
favorite movies of all time, and there's finally a sequel. It's in comic form because at this point,
Eric Powell.
let's let Disney take Harrison Ford and all these people and make sequels with them when they're older, and it's kind of like, yeah, this, you probably should have done this probably 15, 20 years ago. Don't make a movie sequel to Big Trouble. Do it in comic form.
That's pretty up. That's kind of cool. though.
Yeah, it's
That's
really good,
pretty-
and it picks up exactly where the movie leaves off.
Nice.
And I don't want to go into spoiler territory, but the last thing you see is like the demon has like hitched a ride. That immediately comes into play. It's good.
I'm gonna have to-
And, I mean, and Carpenter's involved, so
So you a copy tonight.
Well,
sold
yeah,
out.
do you have? Oh, well, then you're not gonna sell me comics
You're
today.
gonna have to listen to me.
But you come over to my house. I have my. I have a copy.
Okay,
You-
well, we'll
what do
put
you
that
have?
over here.
Neil Gaiman's autobiography?
No, please. Sad. And I was raped by my dad. Sad. Hashtag Neil Gaiman. Wow. And I see children in the graveyard, sad.
Wow.
And
Feeding children
and
in the
I can
graveyard?
tap into
That
my
would be-
dreams. No, I saw
That's a black metal
No,
band.
here's
Feeding
Neil Gaiman.
children in the
Let me
graveyard.
sum up Neil
But an
Gaiman.
acoustic black metal band.
Hashtag Neil Gaiman. Let me sum up Neil Gaiman. So,
me
okay, I'm sad. I wear black. I'm sad. And I see sunglasses, children in the graveyard, sad. And I like skeletons on like puppet strings.
Did you read Sandman?
Yes.
Are you aware of the
Oh my
genius
God.
contained within Sandman?
Oh, please. You know what? Sandman almost made me anorexic because I barfed every time I read an issue.
Isn't that bulimic?
That's bulimic, yeah.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Hashtag
Hashtag Sandman for the win. No, you know what?
Brilliant.
Do I look like a real Neil Gaiman bitch? Yeah.
You know you're gonna bring the Republicans down on us again.
No, you know what?
You know, it's
I'm
funny
the
that
difference.
That's the second time we've seen your nipples on this show.
No,
Thank you.
No, it's not really funny.
Hashtag Neil Gaiman on my nipples.
We could no. So okay.
Next week is about Grant Morrison in his shaved bald
No,
head.
then we're gonna fight.
I know. But that's what people want
Ooh,
to see.
I'm gonna buy noodles for next time. Those foam noodles. If you're gonna talk about Grant Morrison, I'm gonna buy foam noodles.
Like the pool.
That
Good fight.
that right there is a hashtag. If you're gonna talk about
Hashtag
Grant
I'm gonna
Morrison,
buy noodles.
I'm gonna buy foam noodles.
No, at first she said noodles, just regular noodles.
What-
You
Oh,
didn't realize
yeah.
And
Neil
then,
Gaiman.
and then
you're
she
right.
specified foam
Like,
noodles.
whatever we-
So what? If you're good, you can be
So I
pretentious.
thought-
Tom York can be pretentious. I don't love all Radiohead, but after Kid A,
Yeah.
I don't care. If
You know what? The only thing that makes me feel good about Tom York is Coldplay. It's like, okay, I get it. Like, all right. So
Wait. Are you actually saying you prefer Coldplay to Radiohead?
No.
Oh, because I was gonna
I'm
say
saying, like,
this podcast is over.
Coldplay like comes in like, oh my god. So
Yeah, right. Oh, Hulk smash.
like, all right, I didn't like Tom York to begin with, but then Coldplay comes in. I was like, all right, so these guys are imitating that guy, and it's shitty. You know?
You know, I
That
would
makes
really
sense.
give Coldplay the benefit of the doubt until Magic, and then I just, hashtag fuck you.
Say what?
Coldplay is the worst.
Coldplay's bad.
Hey, it was
Tom
all
York
yellow.
has wonky
Hey,
eyes.
is Warren Ellis pretentious?
Does he have wonky eyes?
Yeah, one's kind of small, one's kind of big.
Actually,
Everybody's. I'm pretentious.
Warren Ellis is just scary. But
Wonky eyes.
I like you're trying to
Another
feed
Band-Aid.
us segues. That's fantastic. Because this is just.
Thank you.
Before we do that, can we answer some mail?
Yeah.
We got some mail.
Oh wow.
I know. You've
From
got
Neil
mail.
Gaiman and David
Yeah,
Goyer.
and he's gonna kick your ass. They're
Oh,
teaming
actually, the,
Oh, I
the
lo-
mailbag is great because we did some research for the mailbag
Yes.
this
Let's
week.
do it.
So-
Let's go. We're going in the mailbag.
up. The first thing in the mailbag.
I think our guest should answer the mail before we.
Okay. Well. Okay. So Robin and Tanya.
Caught
Tom
unawares.
Traub said that if we come to SF, he would be the insufferable drunk in the front row.
San Francisco.
I don't think they can answer that.
Yeah.
No, but I thought
Okay.
you were going to talk about the first one.
No, I'm going shortest to the most. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that wasn't going to be the just disregard all the research. So the other bit of mail that we got, other than a few threats, which I won't go into. Ivan, who was here. Hello, Ivan. Did you get a
You
beer?
can't send us mail and then show up
Wait,
to the
was that
show,
just a
dude.
statement?
Yeah, I
You're
think
going
so.
to San Francisco.
I mean, he's probably
No,
assuming my
if he
stuff.
comes to San
wants you to
Francisco,
go.
Yeah,
can
he
I
wants
sit in
us
the
to.
front
He
row?
wants us to go.
Oh,
Certainly.
I'm
stay on
down.
the road. Why don't
Let's
you
do
do
it.
that?
We, eventually.
Will you come with us?
For sure.
Everybody.
I love San Francisco.
You
Yeah, I do
coincided with
too.
Abe, maybe, or
Yeah.
do the
That's the
recording
only
for Abe.
reason I'd be. Abe, dude.
Yeah.
Ralphie.
Dude, I'm down.
By the way,
Do it
my
with
partner in arms.
Isotope.
Let's give a dap to my partner in
Yes,
arms.
Isotope.
Who's here?
Wait,
We brought.
I want to get into this, but not yet.
All right.
We're gonna get into this because I didn't know that Raphael was going to be here. So
I didn't either.
We're gonna get into this. It's going to get into it soon. So Ivan asked that he wanted to get into Judge Dredd, but he didn't really know where to start, which I don't blame you.
With the Stallone movie.
Okay, so Ivan, remember the card that I gave you that I scrawled do the opposite of what
Yeah.
Mike says?
Dredd, huh?
Use that now.
see it.
Don't get
It
into.
was beautiful.
it's on Netflix
Um,
now, I think.
Yes,
The
it
new?
is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I've never
It's
really
awesome.
read Judge Dredd.
Is it?
No,
I'm
that
a
kind of
huge-
rhymes.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
I've never really read
Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
And I bear this weight on my head. And for all those today who might be dead, I say one more time, I've never really read.
All you got to do is read.
That's pretty
That
good.
was nice.
Dr. Seuss.
Shel Silverstein.
Oh.
No, no tongue.
Aw.
Last time I buy you beer.
The tongue
later.
is mine.
For later. For the audience.
Just
So-
let you know, the tongue is mine.
She's got dibs.
Thank you,
Sarah has dibs.
So, okay, Judge Dredd. I mean, this goes back. Like, Sarah did a lot of research on Judge Dredd.
By the way, none of us have read Judge Dredd. Go ahead. I ran two. I can round two, bitch.
I know. Yeah, you just
None of
used
us
the
have
same
read
two
Judge
words.
Dredd, but
You
go
used the
ahead.
same two words of mine.
Robin's read Judge.
Well, I'm old, that's why.
Sorry, that was yeah, that's
worse.
Go
that's
ahead.
why
Here,
even
here,
at
I don't
6'2", I didn't make the basketball team because they're like, really underhanded?
Try.
I didn't want to take her eye out.
I'll take a little.
So, yeah. So, here was how I found out about Judge Dredd in 1987. Anthrax released an album called Walk Among Us. No, I'm sorry. Among the Living.
Among the Living, yeah.
That's Misfits.
I am the law.
Among the Living, and they have a song on it called I Am the Law, and in the liner notes there, it's about Judge Dredd. So I had a friend whose older brother had a bunch of 2000 AD comics. I mean, at that point, I didn't really read them. Oh,
It's
something-
fine.
I am the law.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
in Mega City.
Go ahead.
So, you know what?
Go on.
If they lose another singer, they're
Coldplay
coming
will
out.
never write a
No.
song about a British awesome comic.
Probably not.
That's why they suck cock.
That's literally what they do.
That's what they do. That's
Yeah.
why Gwyneth Paltrow. How do you lose Gwyneth Paltrow?
Gwyneth Paltrow sucks.
Not Chris Martin's.
I gotta agree with that.
Yeah.
So
I like Gwyneth Paltrow.
I found out about Judge
I don't
Dredd,
like her, and I hate
Gwyneth
Chris Martin less.
Paltrow actually introduced me to it.
I
She
applaud her
was
for
doing a new
leaving it.
diet where you don't
Yeah.
eat, you just read Judge Dredd, and it seemed to work for her. So I was like, well, I'll try this. No, so
Dude,
So
like
if-
if there was a
What a
garden of
great
ass
promotion.
that I'd want to dip my cock in, it'd be like all the members of Coldplay. Alright? It's like, ass. It's like, oh, that's a flowery ass over there.
oh my god,
You know?
Hashtag
Coldplay.
podcast.
Five
Yeah, I
minutes.
was just gonna say.
You know, there's this garden of flowery assholes, and that is Coldplay.
so
Go ahead.
so
Back to Judge Dredd.
so Gwyneth Paltrow wrote this song in 1987 with her band Anthrax about Judge Dredd. And so I read. I didn't really read. Wait, hold on.
Wait,
I didn't really read.
that's me fucking the asshole in Coldplay. Go ahead.
I did.
Like a fucking dwarf.
So
dude.
but all I can tell you is stay the hell away from Judge Dredd. Just stay. No, I'm kidding. The Alex Garland scripted movie that came out 2 years ago.
You feel this?
No, but my name's not Chris Martin. Thank God.
No.
Thank God. Oh, I'm so happy.
That was exhilarating.
So,
That's good.
This guy.
Chris Martin wrote this Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
Yeah, he's
That's his brother. Judge Dredd, his brother.
Get on your piano, little flower boy.
So I mean, the only thing I've read that I can recommend is 1991. I think it's Alan Grant, John Wagner, and Simon Beasley did a Batman Judge Dredd Judgment on. Yes, I know. Judgment on Gotham. It's pretty cool. It's a little testosterone driven, but it's pretty cool.
Was that part of the series that was supposedly?
No, it was one of these like crossover kind of did happen, didn't happen things in regular continuity. However, you do know. What? Is that Chris Martin?
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think we're losing money.
That's your guy.
Going.
That's my guy. I like the way he's my guy now, right?
My stomach hurts.
I've always counted my ignorance on Judge Dredd as my ignorance because a lot of the guys that I read, like Garth Ennis, oh God, a lot. Steve Dillon, artist-wise, Carlos Esquera. No, I'm not saying that right, but yeah, we're well past pronunciation. A lot of people cut their teeth on that later kind of came into comics. So, I mean, it's definitely worth reading, I would imagine. It's one of those things that has been on my peripheral for a long time. And that Alex Garland pen movie that came out 2 years ago is just, it's fantastic. It's really good. Really liked it. A little, almost too violent for me, but really good.
Are you talking about Dredd? Is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, did you
was
see
that
it?
2 years ago?
Maybe more. I don't know. Time gets weird. It was a lot. Well, maybe like.
I mean, it's on Netflix now. Instant
Oh,
View.
so maybe.
Have you guys seen it?
No, but
Not
I wanted
yet.
to.
Watch
It skirts the line. Like
Yeah.
there's an element like it's so violent that it's almost too much.
What is he locked in like a apartment complex or something?
Yeah.
Peach trees.
But there's this drug they do called slow-mo where it's like when we saw it, Sarah said this. You know, we walked out and I was like, "What do you think?" She's like, "It was like an art movie, action movie."
Really?
They do the drug, and when they do the drug, everything's slow, like to your perception. So you inhale this drug, right, slow-mo, and everything starts moving slow motion. So they do a lot of these sequences where everything gets a little bit brighter, and it's very slow motion, and it's just beautiful. And then, you know, when it kicks back in, of course, there's just like blood. And I mean, it's one of those where gore used to be reserved for things like Evil Dead and chainsaws and knives, and now it's like when people shoot people, chunks of meat are flying all. It's kind of got that element, so it's a little taxed on violence in the culture as it is, which is weird to say because I dragged Ray to see the Evil Dead remake and loved it and stood up and cheered at certain parts.
That was awesome.
I saw it too. It was great.
Thank you.
It was good.
So many people hate the Evil Dead remake, and it's
good.
First of all,
good.
It's not even a remake. It's like they're going to eventually tie the two universes together.
Yeah.
And like nobody gets that. I have so many people that are like, "Fuck that! They should never remade." It's like, dude, are you serious? Did you see the same movie I saw? It's
No, it's pretty.
Oh, you are some of the
Yeah.
No.
We talked about this. We had
It's
You
so
are some of the
fantastic.
people.
It's oh my god. I'm totally.
Let's fight.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight. I'm gonna cut my hand off and put a chainsaw on.
Yeah.
That's my.
Wait, you're talking about like excessive gore and it's like raining blood.
Well, violence is different when
The
it's
second
people
one.
doing it to people in like a normal.
Like-
This is not a fantastical surrounding.
Like Sons of Anarchy.
I've never
shit-
never seen it, but
that's like excessive. I feel.
you know, I mean,
But
for
It's
instance,
like action gore and torture porn.
exactly.
House,
Like
1,000 corpses.
No.
Porn.
yeah.
He laughed, so
I
I'm
make
taking it.
allowances for Rob.
You make allowances for Rob Zombie.
Even though I don't want to. I really like those first two movies a lot, and I really don't like anything he's done since.
And
I just keep a fucking hoping.
Michael Myers,
The first
Halloween, the first one.
it's good.
I liked it. I really liked it.
You know, it was weird when we saw it. Like, I really liked it. And
Yeah.
I thought Sarah was going to be like, fuck you for bringing me this movie. But she's like, I really think Rob Zombie is an amazing filmmaker. And
Right.
he really is. However, he spends so much time in the first 20 minutes of that movie convincing us that the family is white trash. I'm like, I got it. Stop. I get it. And the other thing is, the beauty of Carpenter's Halloween is like there is no reason for Michael Myers being how he is. It's not his mom is a stripper and his stepdad is a scumbag. It's just this is a kid from middle class suburbia who does this shit. Why?
Well, he had to
Until
write a
the
part
third
for his
one.
wife. That's why.
See, and that's why I don't want to talk shit, but like she's awesome in the first in Devil's
Really?
Rejects and
You
House of
don't
Thousand
want
Corpses.
because what show you're on? What
Yeah,
show
I
are
know,
you
right,
on?
right. But
She's been drinking.
What's her name? She's got a really.
Sherry Moonstone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
She's so good in those first two movies, but it's like,
Yeah.
dude, when he wrote Halloween 2, and it's
Oh no.
it's like, did you get confused
That
and you
was
thought
the
you were making
worst.
Friday the 13th?
That was the worst. I didn't like it.
But you know what? Here's a funny thing. Watch the movie again, or part of it. Turn the sound off. It's so beautifully shot. The second one, it's
Well, he has a
gorgeous.
great eye, yeah.
You
I
bring the
mean, I'll
sound
give you
up and
that.
you get the dialogue, and you're like, oh my God, stop talking!
Yeah, no,
Everybody
it's,
just shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a shame. This is issue 8 of Drinking with Comics, and we did some drinking this time, more so than usual. And it's pretty good.
When I showed up,
We talked about some
I
comics.
was drunk when I arrived.
That's good.
So, Thank you, studio audience.
Way.
Live studio
Dude.
audience.
Thank you.
You guys
Thank
are
you,
the
Robin.
most
Thank you,
awesome
Tanya.
audience.
Thank you,
for having
Raphael.
us.
Thank you, Mike. So,
Robin,
now,
What
Thank
do we
you.
win? What do we win?
Tanya,
wait, hold on. We're gonna do
Wait, I
that.
thought
We're gonna
we
do that
had
in a minute.
Oh yeah,
So,
viewer questions.
Oh dear.
photo pictures, like
please, if you dig this, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
YouTube.
We have a website. It's really easy to remember. It's drinkingwithcomics.com. You can leave us a voicemail
There we go.
at 424-271-5610.
Perfect.
And if you leave your name and number, we'll call you back live, and who knows what will happen.
We'll call
we
you on the
might
back
wind up
phone.
sleeping together. You never know.
You might wind up sleeping with Mike. It could happen.